Leprosy cases on the rise in Central Province. PIH Cardiac unit turns 3. And Eda Ranu confident on delivering clean, safe water for APEC.
This is National EMTV News with Helen Sayer.
Good evening and thank you for joining me for Saturday's news. Kalo village in the Rigo district of Central Province has a high number of leprosy cases that have been detected. While 26 cases were recorded last year, 15 new cases were detected only last week. Yesterday, the villagers of Kalo, together with the World Health Organization, in partnership with National Health Department and the PNG Leprosy Mission, witnessed World Leprosy Day by discussing preventive measures for leprosy in the village.
In 2000, through the National Leprosy Elimination Program, leprosy was declared to have no longer been a public health issue in PNG from the time when the disease was first identified in the country in the 1980s. However, 16 years after the elimination, 6 provinces in the country have made slow progress in eliminating leprosy as a public health problem. Central Province being one of them, with Kalo village recording a high number of leprosy cases.
Kalo village is one of the high endemic villages in the country, and I can say a world. Because when we start comparing the statistics of Kalo record 80, 90, 60, 70 cases in a single year. And that means we have the highest. And some other provinces, they combine villages or districts, and then all same statistics. Mipla, Central, Kalo has the highest leprosy cases in the country.
The village was chosen as the venue to witness World Leprosy Day last week Sunday, but due to the heavy rains, the program was deferred to yesterday. Officers from the Health Department, the World Health Organization and the Leprosy Mission traveled to the village to commemorate the world event and at the same time raise awareness on detecting and preventing leprosy.
Probably the other really important thing is to know what the signs are of leprosy. So it's actually just like a lighter coloured patch on the skin. So if you see any lighter coloured patches, and especially if on the patch it's not feeling, it doesn't feel normal, then you can suspect it could be leprosy. And if you go to the clinic, it's even worth mentioning, do you think this could be leprosy? Because that will remind the health workers, oh yeah, maybe it is. And it'll help them to detect, do the proper diagnosis.
Dr. Lanton from the World Health Organization stressed to the villagers that the disease is curable and that the treatment must be completed. And one of the factors that contribute to the disease is overcrowding.
Best prevention is detecting early before you become severe case. And if you become severe, when you spread that bacilli, and with the environment of overcrowdedness in a household, if you have more than 9, 10, 12, 15 people, and if you're really frank multibacillary cases, you can pass on to your relatives and to your children, and that makes it more transmissible.
The main message was to prevent children from developing disabilities associated with leprosy. Villagers were encouraged to take their children to the clinic as soon as they recognize leprosy symptoms of skin patches.
There are 3 things. Early detection, you have to detect early. That is by knowing signs and symptoms of leprosy, and go to the health centers. And I want to tell you that WHO gives the multi-drug therapy for leprosy free of cost. There is no supply shortage in the country. Every health facility, near or far, has these drugs. And do not discriminate. If you know that this case is a leprosy, you must identify it fast, refer to the health center, make sure you treat it appropriately and complete your drugs.
Stacey Yellow, National EMTV News.
Access of basic health services has been difficult for villagers of Kalo in the Rigo district of Central Province for a while now, as the aid post had stopped operating. The 7,000 plus population that lives in the village have been travelling to the nearest aid post at Hula to receive medical help and supplies.
It's about 7 miles to travel from Kalo village to Hula. Villagers pay a fee of 5 kina to travel to Hula and another 5 kina to return. Kalo village elder Kwago Guria says this is money which the average villager does not have.
And I was going to attack our governor and our district manager, but they are both not here. They are the ones who are supposed to put people in our health center. They are the people who are supposed to provide money for our health center. But they are not here. That is our transport fee. 5 kina to Hula, 5 kina back to Kalo. We can't afford that. We don't earn money.
The village aid post is said to be run by the United Church and other key partners, but it faces a major staff issue.
At the province, I'm the only one looking after 3-4 major diseases: TB, leprosy, malaria, all these diseases. I'm the one who is in charge of this program. But then I don't have the support staffs that who can support me. When I'm out like this, the people want treatment, other things, it's missed out in the province.
Village elder Mr. Guria questions where the money allocated for the health sector to the district has gone to. The district in the recent past has been faced with a lot of health problems, and leprosy is one of the major diseases that are causing concerns. Over the years, Kalo district health officers have been piggybacking on funding for TB and malaria to combat the fight against leprosy at the village.
Those are facilities under the government, I look after them. But as a district health coordinator, I can liaise on the behalf with the church health secretary, where are the money going. For the last couple of years, we've been asking them to come for meeting. In our reviews, in our APEC formulation, they are not around. And we don't know where the money is going.
While the central provincial government has given its assurance to look into the matter, the urgent plea to have the local aid post open still remains an issue. Mr. Reams said the medical supplies and equipment are already at the village, but there are no staffs to help him run the health programs.
The tank is down, the staff ran away, the aid post is closed. People are, we can't able to get the leprosy medicine. It is just there. It's simple tank that the community can put up here. And medical by come and then give him service here. Who's going to come and do it? We have to do it.
Stacey Yalo, National, EMTV News.
The cardiac surgery program has seen the cardiac unit at Pacific International Hospital enhance saving hearts. With the help of the international cardiac team from India, PIH has been able to perform complicated open heart surgeries within the country. In celebration of its 3rd anniversary today, the PIH Cardiac Unit has reduced all angiogram prices by 50% till the 10th of March.
Today saw the cardiac unit of Pacific International Hospital celebrating its 3rd anniversary. The cardiac surgery program of the cardiac unit integrates the specialty of the international cardiac team that regularly visits PIH each quarter of the year and performs complicated open heart surgeries. The last 2 sessions enabled patients to return swiftly to their jobs, including the ability to travel abroad within weeks of the surgery. The surgical team does reviews on patients who were operated on in the past to ensure that they are progressing well. In celebration of its 3rd anniversary today, the cardiac unit has reduced all angiogram prices by 50%, which is 5,000 kina, until the 10th of March. In addition, the weekly chest pain clinic, open every Friday, is available free of charge by appointment only. This is to ensure Papua New Guineans with potential cardiac issues to early detection. Lillian Kinea, National, EMTV News.
Members of the law and justice sector will take part in a parade march on Monday to mark the opening of the 2018 legal year. This includes Supreme and National Court judges, district and village court magistrates, lawyers and members of the 3 disciplinary forces. The march is scheduled to start at Vibory Avenue near the New Koura Freeway and end at the CRC Bethel Church at Tokarara. Similar parades will be conducted throughout Papua New Guinea, signalling the start of the legal year. UN High Commissioner for Human Rights to visit Papua New Guinea and Tapo Road in Medang to get maintained. That story and more after these messages. Welcome back. UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Zeid Ra'ad Al Hussein, will visit Papua New Guinea the coming week. Mr. Hussein will arrive in Port Moresby on the 8th of February, where he will attend high-level talks with Prime Minister Peter O'Neill and other government delegations. The head of the UN Commissioner of Rights will also hold talks with Speaker of Parliament, the Chief Justice, as well as civil society. The visit is to discuss key human rights issues affecting the country. Other countries planned to be visited will include Indonesia and Fiji. A major road maintenance contract will be issued for long-term maintenance of the Tapo to Usino Road in Medang Province. During a recent inspection of the Medang-Tulay Highway, Works Secretary David Were said plans are in place for a major upgrade of a 141-kilometer road between Tapo Hill and the Usino Junction.
The Tapo to Usino Junction in Medang remains one of the country's most difficult roads to maintain, especially during the wet season. Works Secretary David Were says due to funding constraints, no major works have been done in the last 2 years.
It's not possible to do anything with the amount of funds that we receive under the maintenance program. It requires a program-based approach to design properly those unstable sections and build a road that can overcome the landslip and landmass movements.
However, he says the government has called on the assistance of the World Bank to fund a new contract that will be issued for major maintenance. This will also be a bridging contract over current arrangements between the Australian government's Transport Service Improvement Program that was made to look after the Medang-Tulay Highway.
From the time when we plan to commence major upgrading works, we have a bridging contract in place under the Australian aid. A long-term maintenance contract will be put in place on this section. So in short term as well as the long term, we got plans in place to keep the roads in accessible condition as well as properly rebuild those unstable sections in the years to come.
The amount of funding of the new maintenance contract will be announced soon, but for now, small contracts have been issued to keep the highway in a passable condition.
We got 52 kilometers upgraded and sealed recently out of the 141 kilometers of the total entire length.
We did about 18 last year, and some of them has continued into the new year. And we are expecting to do a couple more. Will continue into July when the long-term maintenance program will kick off, commence.
Stanley Ove Jr., National EMTV News.
Water company Eda Ranu is confident to deliver about 5,000 litres of water per day for the 2018 APEC meetings. Managing Director Henry Mokono says with the help of consultants, the state entity will provide the best at the same time maintaining quality water for city residents. Mr. Mokono says it's a challenge given the magnitude of the people attending the APEC, but says Eda Ranu is confident to deliver the best to the world leaders.
With the first number of APEC meetings nearing, water utility Eda Ranu is confident of its responsibilities to provide water for those attending. Managing Director Henry Mokono says constant meetings within the organization have identified how the company will distribute water and also serve the city.
And we are fully well aware of what we need to play as a state-owned entity in the whole scheme of things to make APEC, the summit itself, plus we've been told that there will be about 200 plus other meetings, official meetings.
A bigger challenge is providing water to the cruise liners who will be berthing outside Ella Beach and the APEC house. Mr. Mokono says special techniques of delivering water have been discussed with experts in such business.
Because we'll be responsible for supplying these cruise liners. And the figures that I have is we'll be supplying each of the cruise liner about 500,000 liters of water per day into one.
While the focus is now with APEC, Mr. Mokono says equal consideration will be given to city residents and its clients. And with the current monsoon having a severe impact around the country, the water company is preparing for the worst scenario to maintain quality water.
So in Eda Ranu, we've got all our teams in place to tackle any issues in terms of water disruptions or water rationing or similar to what we are doing. We want to make it as minimal as possible and that we don't affect the supply into all the hotels and all the meeting venues and conference centers and what have we in this city in terms of this APEC year.
Jack Lapower Jr., National EMTV News.
Lay's Fire Service Department, under the command of Chief Superintendent Balkena, began a fire safety inspection at a private hospital in Lay on Thursday. The program was conducted to identify risk assessment areas within the hospital and to upgrade fire safety features in the building. This is to help train organizations to be equipped to kill off fire when the building is in flames.
This is where the fire risk assessment began. The fire officers toured this building to identify risk and make recommendations. Lay's Fire Service Chief Superintendent Balkena said it is important for organizations to know how to use fire extinguishers and to evacuate the building when there's fire.
Do a risk assessment, the same time permanent session visit, see for ourselves what they have been done, that we will take on board the necessary defective deficiencies and we will recommend to them to upgrade their fire safety features in this building.
When touring the emergency area of Jim Flores Private Hospital, the fire officers have identified areas that need immediate action. As for risk management, this is one of the areas identified.
We would advise that you relocate.
Another recommendation made to the private hospital is to provide an escape door for evacuation.
You need to have the exit. Any building, regardless of the activities that are taking place, it's a requirement that you need to provide exits. That's a mandatory requirement.
Lay's Fire Service Department has continued the fire risk assessment program to Engau General Hospital and Lay International Hospital. The private hospital's human resource manager John Yamin said the fire safety assessment program is helpful for such organizations.
As thank you for recommendations. Some areas where we need to put in some fire extinguishers, and then put in some escape door signs. Something you recommend.
Julie Badui Owa, National EMTV News, Lay.
Police are investigating a major robbery involving a Malaysian company in Port Moresby. NCD Metropolitan Superintendent Pero Indrano says items valuing close to 5,200 kina were stolen. Police are now waiting for the company's management to come forward with an assessment of items identified as stolen. In a separate incident, 3 men were charged for the robbery at 5 Mile service station. They were allegedly involved in an attempted robbery where they failed to hold up security personnel who were removing takings from the service station. Police said 2 other suspects were shot during the attempted robbery. One died in hospital and the other escaped with bullet wounds.
The previous week to 7 cases. And one of the 7 cases is a major brigade stealing at Toloman Second, value of 502,000 property stolen. I've yet to get the correct location, but it is a Malaysian company, and I'm talking to them. As this morning we were talking for them to give me more information of what was stolen from there. During the failed robbery, there were 2 suspects were shot. One confirmed disease at the time, taken to hospital, and the other is still on the run, wounded one. After that one, there were 3 or 4 more suspects were apprehended following the lead up on that one, and the police are pursuing on the remainder of those suspects. We have apprehended those couple of them, about 3 of them, that have been arrested on the taking part in that robbery.
Stay with us. We'll have more stories when we come back. Welcome back to the news. The IBS attempt to have its university status recognized by the Department of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology was dismissed by the National Court yesterday. Justice Hitalai Kiele dismissed the case and discharged the ex parte orders of January 4 because the proceeding was not properly before court. A motion led by IBS seeking contempt charges against Father Yan on Monday for alleged non-compliance of the 4th January orders were also dismissed.
DHEST Minister Pila Niningi said IBS's efforts in education is acknowledged, but proper procedures must be followed to ensure quality of education in the country is not compromised. He said the department is ready to make preparations for IBS University to regain university status by applying.
We believe in quality education. Standard must they must follow certain procedures prescribed in the legislation.
IBSU now will have to make efforts to get registered as a university. Minister Ninigi said he has directed his secretary, Father Yan, to write to IBS expressing its support to assist IBS. The letter was written to IBS yesterday.
Ethically, IBS management was dishonest with parents and students, telling them that we are university when they knew they are not because we provide evidence. Previously, 2 ministers wrote to them, they are not. I was the chairman of the Higher Education Technical Board, we wrote to them, we are not university. Previous chairman, Mr. Simon Kanahe, was chairman for Commission of Higher Education. He wrote to them, they are not university. So they had enough correspondence and evidence from different bodies and 2 ministers telling them.
Minister Ninigi says all the 50-plus higher education institutions under the Department of Higher Education will be given 3 months to recheck its status and reapply for registration if the need be, or face a penalty of 250,000 and be forced to shut down. He says this is to keep higher learning institutions on par with world standards.
The call is in IBS management and the owner, because there's only one person who owns the institution. To be honest with the students, parents and us as a government, to do the right things as Minister said, follow our procedures, and we are here to help them. If they work hard, and because we are committed to help them.
Father Yan stressed that parents and students have been forewarned about the IBS University status but had gone ahead to register. He said as the department responsible for higher education, they cannot assist the IBSU registered students to move to other higher learning institutions in the country as schools have already met their quota for the year. However, he said IBSU must take responsibility by applying for accreditation for the sake of its students. IBS University's Vice-Chancellor Edward Silva, when asked to comment on IBSU's next step after the court decision, Mr. Silva said the university will seek legal advice before making a statement. Nonetheless, he stated that people of Papua New Guinea should feel about the life and future of innocent students at IBS University and also the entire higher education system in PNG. Stacey Yallo, National, MTV News.
A book written by a Papua New Guinean lawyer based on procedures in the Supreme Court is on sale for 500 kina. It is titled Supreme Court PNG Practices and Procedures and was launched last night by Deputy Chief Justice Sir Gibbs Salika. This is the fourth book author Leslie Benjamin Mamu has written.
The book, Supreme Court Practices and Procedures, has 10 chapters, each focusing on the different appeals that the Supreme Court deals with. Author Leslie Mamu explains that the book is based on his experience in the Supreme Court. It took him 2 years to complete the book. In congratulating Mr. Mamu, UPNG's law lecturer Stephen Pokawin highlighted the need to use practical experience in teaching students at the law school. Mr. Pokawin says while being an academic is not attractive in terms of the benefits that come with it, he is proud of Mamu's achievement in publishing a book that the law students can use.
I think some of us do know why. But it is not necessarily attractive given the current conditions. And it may have certain challenges that the products that come out of the university would face. Having said that, thank you very much, Mr. Mamu, for bringing us together.
Deputy Chief Justice Gibbs Salika was also proud of Mamu's determination to not only practice law, but share his experience through the books he writes.
And that is it's something to be proud of, and you have every reason, Mr. Mamu, to be proud of your achievement in writing another book. And the family, Mrs. Mamu, together with your wife, you should be proud of this achievement of writing this very good book.
Meanwhile, Mr. Mamu is working on 3 other books, and it is his intention to publish a book every year. Thekla Gunga, National MTV News.
Residents of a settlement in Lae have raised concerns over the closure of water supply by Water PNG since October last year. Water PNG has introduced a new meter for installation in the settlements of Lae to control illegal connections as directives from Lae District. Residents of Section 1 area of Peter Block in Lae have complained that they have not accessed water since the installation 3 months ago.
This is Peter Block, one of the biggest settlements in Lae. This settlement is further divided into 15 sections and has a population of over 18,000. This meter farm installation was constructed 3 months ago. There are cold water stations and there are 8 stations installed in this settlement. The residents of Section 1 of this settlement have raised concerns that due to the installation, they have not accessed water since October last year.
Almost make him hurry up because mipla tu manian, mipla staplo here. Mipla one kind of semolar pla manian, na mipla stap na all katim taso na lusi mipla no good pla.
The water closure has affected their day-to-day living. This section of the area is mostly dominated by school-aged children. A women's rep from the area, Jacinta Myra, said a proper explanation was not made to them by Water PNG on when a water station will be installed and water would be connected to their section.
Only not talking about also money na wara stop na stop also. So me go na blo check mo lo ko ti wara to sorry. You know yet ya. Na lo man bring wara ino go yet na postman ino to kan to me gimisla. Making come up me plan iti was symbolic bring cam na go na time school mangi go back.
When we contacted Water PNG, Lae's operations manager said this was the initiative of Lae District to install a meter farm at all settlements in Lae. This will help control illegal water connections. The bond fee for the installation was paid by the district. Water PNG's operation manager said she is not aware of the concern raised regarding the installation of water station number 8. She said officers will attend to the matter and have it fixed. Julie Badui Owa, National EMTV News, Leh.
Paradise Private Hospital has officially launched their new logo. CEO of Paradise Private Hospital, Dr. Robin Sios, explained that in previous years, Paradise Private Hospital was mainly a maternity and gynecology clinic. Dr. Sios states that the new logo brands the hospital as a family clinic. The new logo shows a father, mother and child all within an embryonic cell representing a family unit. In addition to maternity and gynecology clinic, now available are the intensive care and cardiac testing units. Trukai Sports is up next. Don't go away.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Vice Sports Minister Wesley Raminai, during the Coca-Cola Trophy Tour reception, mentioned his plans to create a soccer academy for young children in his electorate. He said PNG is one step closer to making it into the World Cup in the future, but it starts with creating our very own players that can one day step into the international playground.
Spain against Japan in Group
Papua New Guinea has had the privilege to host the Under-20 Women's World Cup and on Thursday the FIFA World Cup Trophy Tour by Coca-Cola. Both events have urged Vice Sports Minister Wesley Raminai to rethink into the future of football in the country. While recognizing the presence of Oceania in the FIFA World Cup through Christian Korembo, Raminai says his existence has impacted the Pacific nations to greatly strive harder to make the future World Cup.
It is a great honor for us because Port Moresby is one of those 91 cities in 51 countries as the priceless icon makes its journey throughout the world. As I said before, our country is so small compared to the world's leading football nations. But we must continue to work extremely hard to develop the game in PNG so that one day we can qualify for the World Cup in the future. It won't be an easy road, but we will have to set our goals higher to ever go at it. Today's historical occasion is a great motivation that should remind all the stakeholders of the game of football in PNG to work in tandem to strengthen the foundations of the sport as we aim to qualify for the World Cup in 2026. That's the time when I think Oceania will have a direct entry, maybe 1.5 chance we have.
As a football player, Raminai says he hopes to create a football academy in his electorate where young football players can be trained.
Personally, myself as the member representing my electorate, and also myself as being a soccer player before, what I've been doing is I've been looking for ways to give that pathway for our guys in my electorate, or in my constituency. We have about 150 schools. That's the elementary and the primary schools. My aim is to give them a pathway so that maybe one day, within the next 3 or 4 years' time, I'll give them an opportunity for them to go up to Europe, and so that one day they become professional footballers. As an MP, that's what I'm doing, so that one day we can also qualify for the World Cup.
Meanwhile, with 24 new countries added to the list of the FIFA World Cup Trophy Tour destinations since 2006, PNG is no longer outside the world map. It's established a name for hosting international sporting events such as the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup, 2017 Rugby League World Cup, and now the FIFA World Cup Trophy Tour by Coca-Cola. In 2016, PNG lost its opportunity to qualify for the 2018 World Cup to New Zealand in the finals of the Oceania FIFA World Cup qualifiers. PNG will have to wait another 3 years to compete and qualify for the FIFA World Cup. Godwin Eki, National EMTV Sports.
The prestigious FIFA World Cup trophy is a gold trophy that is awarded to the winners of the FIFA World Cup Association Football Tournament since the beginning of the World Cup in 1930. The tour used two trophies, one of which was the Jules Rimet Trophy from 1930 to 1970 and the FIFA World Cup Trophy from 1974 to the present day, that is made of 18-karat gold and estimated to be worth $10 million.
3.
Made of 18-karat gold, the 6.42 kilograms trophy stands at 36.8 centimeters. It was made by Stabilimento Artistico Bertoni Company in Italy and depicts two human figures holding up the earth. The in-demand price was introduced in 1971 worth US $50,000. Now the trophy is estimated to be worth US $10 million. The trophy is on its 4th global tour and will visit 24 new countries, including Papua New Guinea, which is 8 on the list. The trophy tour is aimed at providing an unforgettable experience for its fans across 6 continents, visiting 51 countries and 91 cities, traveling 152,000 kilometers around the world in a total of 9 months. FIFA and Coca-Cola took a determined first step on a remarkable journey, taking the original FIFA World Cup trophy around the world in the build-up to the 2006 FIFA World Cup Germany. Since 2006, every new edition of the FIFA World Cup has brought with it the promise of a new trophy tour, traveling and touching down in new cities and meeting new fans. The FIFA World Cup Trophy Tour by Coca-Cola is a rare opportunity for fans to see the trophy up close and have their experience captured with a photograph. The current holder of the trophy is Germany, winner of the 2014 World Cup. This year, 32 countries will go into playing pool matches before the final 2 countries battle to win the prestigious FIFA World Cup trophy. The FIFA World Cup Trophy Tour continues to Pakistan. Godwin Eki, National EMTV Sports.
We'll have more stories up next, including Pukpuk's victory over Russia and New Zealand. Stay with us for details.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. The PNG Pukpuk Sevens team beat Russia 35-5 at the Sevens Series in New Zealand. Russia, ranked 15th in the world, were outclassed by an outstanding PNG team.
And Russia should be a bit of fun.
Papua New Guinea, ranked 17th in the world, went into the match as underdogs.
Good start by Papua New Guinea, keeping it alive. And here is Kapana.
But that all changed in the first minute of the match as PNG opened the scoring through Patrick Tatut. A failed conversion kick saw the score at 5-0.
Emmanuel Guys pulled down from behind by Yanushkin, but he pops it up now to Patrick Tatut. And he says, see you later.
Russia pounced back with a try and a successful conversion kick to take the lead.
And 2 on top. Yeah.
The Russians' lead was short-lived after Gairo Kapana turned on his afterburners, running 18 meters and scoring under the post.
Central Club in PNG puts the Pukpuks back in.
Right on halftime, Kapana got his second try.
Halftime, and Gairo Kapana has got a double.
In the second half, PNG continued their dominance, scoring through Emmanuel Guys and Patrick Tatut.
Toot! He is away, Patrick.
Coach Douglas Guys says he was happy with the team's performance and is looking forward to other upcoming matches.
Yes, we've really improved. You can see the effort against especially South Africa. We got a bit of a schooling again with South Africa last week, but I think the boys have held themselves well over the last 2 weeks. We don't, as you can see, we don't have really a major sponsor. Yeah, so we've just had a 2-week camp. We split up the boys between myself and the assistant coach, and throw them in the deep end here in the World Series. Yeah, so it's big ask for the boys to turn up, and they've done well there.
Elijah Levitt, National EMTV Sports.
To overseas, and 2 years ago, Maurice Longbottom never thought of playing rugby sevens. Well, now he's making a name for Australia.
Entire life, Maurice Longbottom's been told size matters, and now he's relishing the opportunity to prove those people wrong.
I'd probably just with football being too small and can't do this, can't do that, and then you go out there and do it, and then they've got nothing to say, so it's good in the end.
At 1.68 m, size was a hindrance to his NRL dream.
Ankle breaker alert!
But since transitioning from League to Sevens last year, he's found the code that fits.
Extraordinary.
You can see he's got natural ability and those amazing feet.
I don't see size as an issue. He still bumps me off at training.
Yeah, I just love the space that you've got out there. There's just so much room to do. Go out there and have a crack and do your thing.
There's the dancing feet! Longbottom's dancing feet have helped him score 7 tries across the 3 tournaments so far to become one of the most elusive players on the circuit.
When we do our tracking drills and you see Maurice line up on the opposite cone, you see everyone duck off and turn around. So.
While the Australians won their home tournament in Sydney last weekend, this weekend will also be a home tournament of sorts for Ben O'Donnell.
I think half the O'Donnells or half of Waikato's O'Donnells from what I'm hearing.
The dual citizen has a couple of cousins in the Chiefs.
Declan and Caleb O'Donnell were both ex-New Zealand Sevens players. Hopefully catch up with them over the weekend.
They may not be big names or big people, but the Aussies have come to New Zealand to spoil Hamilton's party.
And that's a wrap for Trukai Sports. Stay tuned, weather details coming up next.
Trukai Sports.
The weather details were proudly brought to you by Dulux, celebrating 50 years in PNG and the only paint made in PNG.
Looking at the weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow, in the southern region, a shower or two in Port Moresby and Alatau, partly cloudy in Daru, cloudy periods in Kirima and rain in Popondetta. In the Momasi region, a shower or two in Lae and rain showers in Medang, Vanimo, Wewak and Wau. In the New Guinea Islands region, rain showers can be expected all across the region. And in the Highlands region, a shower or two, then morning fog in all centres.
Details were proudly brought to you by Dulux, celebrating 50 years in PNG and the only paint made in PNG.
And that's been the news, sports and weather for Saturday, 3rd of February 2018. From the entire news crew, pleasant viewing. Have a good night.